Hey everyone, and welcome to another Mount & Blade Bannerlord mods of the week. In all honesty, this week has been a little bit slower with mod releases that really stand out, but later during the week we did get some fun surprises. Some of the mods are a bit quirkier than usual, but I definitely think that there are mods present here as well that enhance the Bannerlord experience in terms of immersion and gameplay. Before we begin with the mods, I would like to ask you all to please also check out some of my other YouTube channels you can find in the description down below. I have a Star Wars Battlefront mod focused channel, a gaming review channel, and several Let's Play channels as well. If you like what you see, then please subscribe to some of those channels as it helps me out a lot. Now for the first mod, we have something very cool though, and in my opinion, a mod that can be considered a must to enhance your experience. In many RPGs and even strategy games like Stellaris or Crusader Kings, you have random events that can pop up now and again that tell a little story and can even give you a buff or a debuff. That is exactly what the mod Random Events tries to emulate. When you play the campaign, you have the chance now and then to trigger an event. You will get a notification and a pop-up that tells you something has happened. Sometimes it can be as innocent as being stung by a bee, but it can also be a sudden ambush, or you coming across a group of vigilantes who want to join your ranks. You even have some choice in the matter. And this is awesome because it feels so natural, as we have seen the same style of random events in other games already, and it fits right into Bannerlord as well. It's also well balanced that you won't get a random event every 5 or 10 minutes to where it gets annoying. For some events to occur, certain prerequisites even need to be made, like a certain amount of units or a settlement that you own. Currently, there are around 20 random events, and I definitely hope to see this mod being updated in the future. The random events are super short, but break up that monotony of long travels over the world map. If more varied random events get added, it can even grow to be one of those mods that will feel like it's a vanilla addition to the game experience. A must download, in my opinion. Then the next mod on the list is also a very popular one amongst the community, and that is the Attributes Matter mod. Attributes work quite differently in Bannerlord than they did in Warband, and I think most would agree that it differs for the worse. Attributes in Bannerlord scale the individual skill caps, whereas in Warband it did the same, plus give you a little bit of extra bonus on top of your stats and skills. This mod tries to bring that back, as it gives you a very small boost for your attribute points that can stack and multiply as you level up as well. At the start of every battle, you get a very detailed report in the lower bottom of the screen, telling you exactly how the attributes influence your stats. Then every time you switch weapon types, you will get another message to inform you on the attribute status and change for these particular weapons. It can be a bit much information and can result in the log window getting cluttered with red text very quickly, which can be annoying to some. Come to think of it, I haven't tried to turn off the log text, but I assume that if you would do so in the options, you also would not necessarily get the information on the attributes for a cleaner experience. I would then just recommend to first play the mod vanilla to see if the stats do indeed appear, and then afterward, turn the text off so you know in the back of your mind that your attribute points do actually matter this time around. Overall, it makes the game feel just a bit more like a deep RPG, and that is always welcome. Then we have a mod that addresses the shield wall with a proper overhead shield mod where you can do a better testudo providing defense on both the front and from arrows in the sky. Sure, the regular game provides the opportunity to have a shield wall already, but it only affects an attack from the direct front. Many of the troops still have their heads exposed to incoming arrow fire. With this mod, you can see that the units will have their shields up higher, providing much better cover in case you need to defend. I tested it out with a 400 versus 400 match, where the opposition was only consisting of 400 archers, and out of our 400 footmen, only 5 died before they got into range where we could charge them. It's a huge difference if it were a ShieldWall in the regular game and probably would have suffered at least 4 or 5 times as many casualties. The cool thing too is that the mod is easily moddable with other mods to create that ultimate phalanx fantasy and become an impenetrable unit of just shields and spears. This is of course also a mod that would be very handy to use were we to get a proper ancient Roman times conversion mod in the near future. It's only a small change and is only noticeable if you call in this formation, but the outcome of battle changes drastically because of it. This is another one of those mods that can be added to enhance the experience due to its excellent immersion. Then for the next mod on the list, we have a very self-explanatory one, and that is the Minimap mod. At first when I saw this mod, I wasn't sure why you would want a minimap since the battles themselves don't take place in huge areas. But if you actually look at the troop movement, and especially if there are horses involved, it can definitely be a welcome addition. If you have lost your horse or need to chase down fleeing enemies, it can be very handy to see exactly where you need to go. Most of us will likely just follow our fellow troops as they will lead us to battle eventually. But in battles with hundreds of units, smaller clusters of different large battle zones do occur. There's often the area where the footmen will fight and the cavalry is often more spread out, which can be very clearly seen on the minimap. Now the minimap itself might of course not be that immersive for many, and that could be a reason to be turned off by this mod, but I do think most would agree that the minimap can definitely be a bit smaller and is quite obscure as it's now on your screen. You get the feeling that a significant part is blocked off, and at the top it can also block valuable visible information like incoming artillery or arrows. Having the map smaller and at the bottom would be a big improvement, and despite its arcadey feel, I do encourage to at least give the mod a try, as you will notice how much movement is actually happening on the battlefield. Then finally, we have a smaller mod that can be seen as a more convenience mod than anything. The sprint mod allows you to sprint and comes in 2 versions. One where you need to hold the button, which the default button is V, to sprint, and the other is a toggle, so you only need to press it once. This is of course a lifesaver, since in the beginning your character will run very slow, and most of your own troops will actually overtake you if you try to keep up with them. With this mod, this can be helped, though the sprinting speed is so fast that it's a bit unrealistic for all that heavy armor that you're wearing. And in third person, the animation looks very quirky and sped up, so I would definitely recommend using this mod in first person. Luckily, you can easily switch back to normal running whenever you want, so that you can only use this mod whenever you need to keep up with your troops or want to get to the front quickly instead of having to run slowly for a long time. Again, it's more of a lifesaver mod that makes it a bit more convenient, and this mod will definitely not be everyone's cup of tea. But I do know that many are bothered by how slow your vanilla character is, so this will definitely fix that. And with that, we've come to another end of Mount and Blade Bannerlord mods of the week. As I said, there was a bit of a slow start this week, but definitely highlights are the Attributes Matter mod and the random events that feel like they enhance the experience of the base game again. Let's hope that next week brings us more mods, then we'll add even more immersion or RPG elements to Bannerlord, which by now, the campaign, which is fairly comparable to the Warband campaign, can become something quite cool and unique if enough mods are added. I might actually do a top 5 or maybe a top 10 of best immersion mods in the near future, as we have gotten some really cool additions over these past 5 weeks. Definitely also let me know what kinds of mods you would like to see be made for Bannerlord. But of course also, if a particular mod is released and you think I should check it out and discuss it in this weekly show, then please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next week.